In this video, we're going to cover how to create a Google Forms survey. To begin, you're going to go to Google Forms, which you can simply Google and land at this page here, or go to your Google account, click on the Google Apps icon, and select it from the menu. From there, we can use a template to get started by expanding the template gallery and checking out the different templates made available to us by Google, or we can start from scratch. So that's what we're going to do here. So we're going to click on blank. Now that we're here, we have a completely blank form that we can start to customize. So this is where you're going to title your form. You can also add a description. The description will allow you to put in any type of links in case you need to link out to something from your form. Now we are ready to start adding questions to our form. The first question is automatically included. This is a multiple choice question, so we'll start with this one. So this can be utilized for a lot of different question types. So this one is multiple choice, but you can select short answer, paragraph, which is long text input, multiple choice, which is what we have here, check boxes, drop down. You can allow your users to upload a file. You can do a linear scale where you can rate something from, say, 1 to 5, a multiple choice grid, checkbox grid, the date, or the time. So there's quite a few fields that we can use to create different questions. Here on the right hand side, you can see there's a little toolbar, so this will add another question. Again, going to default to that multiple choice type. We can also import questions from other forms that we've created. We can add a title and description if you want to break out your form into different sections. You can do that, such as this. We also can add images and videos, and we can break out the form into different pages via this section button here. So anything above here would be in a section, and then they have a next button to go to the next section. You can also use kind of different if-then statements so that if they complete this, then they're going to go to this section, or maybe they can submit it from there. So there's a lot of options in terms of customization. It's really easy to customize the layout of your form. You can simply click and drag the different questions or sections throughout the Google form. So let's go ahead and just create a simple survey. So here I'm going to type in name as a field, and you'll notice that it automatically updates to whatever Google wants to suggest as the recommended question type. So things like name, email, age, date, those types of things. It'll recommend, and you can always change it to whatever you intend to use, but it will recommend for certain fields that are common in forms. So here we have name. Let's add another question. We're going to do age. So this could be short answer. We could also have it be a drop down. So let's say that we want to do age groups, so 10 to 15, 16 to 21, and so forth. We can do that as well. So that's an example of a drop down. Let's add one more question type. This is going to be the email question type. So here this has converted it to a short answer. With questions like this, we can also validate that whatever the person is typing in is true. So for example, email, if we want it to be a valid email, we could make this so that it's a regular expression, so it contains, for example, @.com or something along that line. Usually that's not necessary, but something for consideration. That option is available here under response validation by clicking those three little dots. So now we have our simple sample survey here. So what we're going to want to do from there is customize it. And we have some customizations built in within Google Forms to do that. So to accomplish this, we're going to click on this little palette icon to customize the theme. From there, we can select a header image, which we can either pull from the existing library. We can also upload or access our Google Photos. So I'm just going to select a generic illustration from the list. As you can see, there are quite a few. Select this one. And based on the header image, Google is going to suggest a color palette based off that image, which you can see the theme colors here have been selected for us. I can also add my own custom color if I want to do that. So if I wanted to have a custom orange instead of any of those grays that it recommended, I can add that color by clicking the plus add custom color button. Then it'll allow you to select a background color based on the theme color you've selected. I'm just going to go with a plain gray background. And then you can also select font style. Keep in mind, depending on your audience, basic is typically the best to go with because the font is easy to read. Now we're done customizing our form, so let's go ahead and get this ready for users to take. So at this point, we can preview our form by clicking that eyeball icon. And this is what users will see when they come to take the form. So they'll see the 3 questions that we've added here, and then they'll be able to submit. So if we want to give someone access to this form to take, we can click the send button and we can email it to them. We can also send them a link by clicking on the link icon here. We can shorten the URL so it's a little bit easier to copy paste or put up on a whiteboard. And that will allow us to share that form with anyone digitally. The last way we can customize our form is via the settings menu here. So to do that, you click on the settings cog. Depending on your organization or school, you might have some different options here. You can allow users to edit their responses after they submit. You can allow them to see other people's responses, which is typically not recommended unless it's just very generic information. We can also customize the confirmation message under presentation here. So if you don't want them to be able to submit more than one time, you would uncheck this. There's some other options there. You can leave the confirmation message as is default, your response has been recorded, or you can add a custom message and save it. After you've received responses, they will come in and be located here. You'll be able to review them by an individual basis or as a group result. But if you want to get a spreadsheet version of your results, you can quickly do that by clicking the Create Spreadsheet button here. And that's going to allow you to create a new spreadsheet, and all response will be filled in within this spreadsheet here. That might be useful if you want to create your own graphs, charts, and so forth to further analyze your data or break it out into certain data points. So that is how we can create a survey or form with Google Forms. Be sure to check out our other tutorials, and good luck!